Yeah. We're ready. The computer needs to stay plugged in, so just kind of speak up a little bit. Like, yeah, we're recording.
Call meeting to order at 7:10. January minutes came through.
I looked at them, but I wasn't here the first time to say if they were accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Well, I
It
guess
was a fairly quick meeting because we adjourned at 7:45 and
But
the session.
I read them and they looked like what I remember the meeting saying. I can't officially vote on them, but I'll just confirm that I.
So,
they
I
motion.
make a motion. that we
I
accept
guess I'll
minutes.
second it. Don't you, Jeff?
Sure, we trust you.
Huh?
Trust you.
Oh, yeah, you want to? Yeah,
I wasn't here, so I can't say, but yeah, sure.
you did this, that was discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to do that. Okay,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, I'll vote. All in favor?
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah, you
say,
guys
so
can.
there's just three of us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, motion carried. So now we're on to the big treasurer's report and our finance law, which we've been discussing.
So,
Yeah, to go back to the annual appeal, now that I have these numbers in front of me. So in January of 2025, so which should be the only part in the statement, we had $1,450 deposited from the IMF. So maybe this does have other numbers from, earlier put in, or maybe it's like, but it doesn't match what was specific for the annual appeal in that time frame of this report. And the numbers for fundraising income and expenses don't line up with like a month-to-month tally done longhand. So I don't know like what the short-term answer for that is, other than just maybe working the system a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's probably looking at the codes and how everything is, first of all, how everything's coded, whether the codes make sense, because, and especially whether it makes sense to the bookkeeper, because if the bookkeeper doesn't understand the codes, then it's never gonna be okay.
So these are the same code categories. So this just says budget 2026 over here, but nothing has been done differently for the budget this year. But you can see they are this is what Steve and Erica were using. Nothing has been changed on there.
Yeah.
They are broken down, in a way that seems pretty straightforward. They seem tallied out well. I did think it was possible that 000 code was just neutralizing itself out if she was just inputting it with some kind of automated system, that maybe that was zeroing itself out. But beyond that, it seems like it should be working, but it isn't quite working.
So it's probably just a conversation with her to make sure that she understands what all of these codes mean and what the related category obviously.
I mean, even on the spreadsheet, each thing that's put in is coded,
Right.
by me or then Jenna, from the last few.
But yeah, and if we're going to keep using Marie as a bookkeeper, just does she have a better system that she prefers? And then we just use her system instead of trying to make her.
Right, because I think this was Erica's system.
Yeah.
It was she said it was one she had used in Dorset. So she just did it to make it easier for herself when she was doing it.
I mean, I don't really know how this would get messed up. It looks really,
it looks pretty straightforward.
So the expenses, you pay the expenses, you're actually paying the bills.
Yes.
Jenna, you're the one giving her the totals on what you spent on books and what you spent.
Yeah, sort of. So what Erica's system, what we sort of kept going forward after, what Erica and Stephen had done was they shared a spreadsheet, and Stephen would put in whatever his expenses were because he knew what they were spent on it, because it almost always comes up as Amazon, but he could break it out into what the categories were. And then Erica would put in anything that were just library bills, the North Shore Networks, tech support, those kinds
and
of
look over and make sure the
and then she would go through and just check against the bank statement to make sure everything is accounted for. And then honestly, since I'm inputting 75% of the stuff in there, I just started doing all of it because I have to go through the bank statement item by item anyway to align it. So I was just kind of putting them all in, and then the treasurer was just like double checking it. So it was a little more like checks and balances instead of two people doing separate parts. So that's how we get the monthly spreadsheet. And then I added 2 pages that were just programming expenses and another page that was just book purchases. So you could kind of track that more easily, as those obviously being like the 2 things I'm really responsible for managing the budget for. And that's it. That's kind of, it seems like a
So do you
comprehensive
ever sit
system,
down
but
with Maureen, or is this always?
I
kind
never
of
talked to Maureen.
emails?
Just
Yeah.
emails for me. I mean, I don't know if Erica sat down and talked with her
Yeah.
more when she hired her, but then for me, I just sent her the things and she sent it back.
And my understanding is Erica just sent her a copy of the bank statement and then a copy of the detailed.
Yeah, and
here's
that's what I
all of
did
our
for the-
expenses, but
yeah.
with all the notes and the categories
Yeah.
next to them, and then Maureen just sends back a P&L and, whatever the monthly statement is.
Seems
So,
like you guys should have a conversation with them, like face to face.
with Maureen. And also with whoever is gonna take over as
Right.
treasurer, because
Yeah.
we might as well just kind of
Right.
all at once, right, and make sure everything is who is gonna take over as treasurer. Are we going to hope that Lynn is excited about being the treasurer? 'Cause Kristen
Yes, we're
talked to
gonna
her
hope
a
that.
little bit about it. Do they start
It might be kind of hard to jump in.
It was hard
On
to
the
jump
board
in,
And
but it was also just hard to jump in because I have so much else going on. I think she said she used to do the books for her husband, so she's used to doing bookkeeping and treasury, and she's retired, and like doesn't like she just
Yeah.
might have more time to give to it than I was able to. But I don't know if someone else is willing to.
Does everyone know that you're not running for the board? again?
Oh, I am not running for the board again.
Okay.
I know,
Yeah, well, only because so I was going to do it. Lynn did it, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. But then Wendy also did it too, and I was like, well, those are the 2 spaces, so I don't have to. So I'm gonna keep doing all the things that I actually do and do well, besides the treasury, like doing game night and helping fill in here. And I'm happy to volunteer and do stuff. But
She's gonna stay on as one of the library volunteer
Cheers,
like
yeah.
study subs, and then also just publicly volunteer you to like hold Lynn's hand for the first.
Oh,
couple
yeah,
months and
I mean,
do the
I'm happy
transition on the
to-
board meetings, so
yeah.
smooth it over, but not stay on the board
Yeah.
all year.
yeah, no, I'm happy to do that. I mean, I feel like she might even know more about things, and it's what I think in the system. So I feel like a bunch of times I ask like, where does our money come from? And it's like, talk to Erica, and I'd ask Erica, and she'd be like, I don't know, like, and she would just never answer any of my questions. Or would just be like, I don't know, it's in there. Like she just never really could explain things. So I don't know how much I'm happy to answer any of Lynn's questions, but I also don't even know if someone else who or maybe Lynn would even, or whoever wants to do it, would understand more about endowments, which was a lot of like my questions of like, what do we need to do, with these things? Like, do we need to worry about taxes more? Do we need, like those sort of things that I never was really able to get answers for?
Can we do a treasury committee? So have a treasurer, but then have a group of people who are there for backup? Like, because I understand endowments, I understand that stuff. I don't understand the particulars of the accounting part.
Yeah.
But I understand the budget end of things.
Yeah.
That are, more for program.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I have the skill set to be treasurer, but definitely could like lend a hand in helping understand the endowment part. So.
And you said in the past, you used to have like specialized committees within the board, right? Like there was like fundraising committee and there was some other committee that we yielded.
I know on other boards that I were on too, you'd even have like an assistant treasurer or someone who could help, who could also, because sometimes it would be helpful to have even a third person's name on there who can drop checks off at the bank or can write a check if whoever is the treasurer is out of town or,
I think we have to look what our.
yeah, I don't know what your board,
I think it's
Sorry,
what you get, on what you have, because what I said one time, a vice president or whatever, and they, that's not in the bylaws, you can have that. Can we update the bylaws?
I don't see why not.
Cause I feel like having
I mean,
another name
bylaws
besides, cause
are-
it's nice to have Jenna, but
Yeah.
there's certain things Jenna really shouldn't do because she's an employee and not a
Right.
person on the board.
And then
So,
even like
yeah.
you had like a family crisis for a couple months
Yeah.
and Erica volunteered to step in, but then she's not on any of the accounts anymore. So then she couldn't actually access the bank statements and then it became a whole.
Right.
And we remember how long it took just to get you on the bank account, like having, it wasn't like it was a multi-month process. So yeah, if there were like a backup or an assistant, if that were legal, at least that gives you
Some
an
backup,
instantly
yeah.
someone who can step in for a month or something to relieve. Like, who looks at that in the
Well, first of all, we have to get the bylaw, where it says what you add.
Somewhere at home.
I don't even know where we keep our bylaws.
And they're,
It's not here.
they're specific to our institution, right? It's not like
Yes.
the Vermont state. Okay, so they're somewhere, I'm sure they're somewhere. in
There's
the grades, even if
Well,
they're-
at one time they were here, and then I went to look up something, they were all gone, so.
We didn't
I
have
thought it
really
was
good
an
records.
electronic version.
Yeah.
That's
That's
question
about that.
Stephen keeps
way
really
back
good.
that they
You know,
were
like on the website, there might be a
It could be.
drop down on the website. And sometimes it takes me a while to find where he put things, but they're always somewhere and they're always really well recorded.
Erica says that Stephen was very good.
He was extremely
I think he
organized.
was.
Yes.
It's sometimes the shift from like paper to digital is hard to figure out where things ended up, but like
I
it's
I don't know.
like
I did the treasury before Erica. And it was on the old QuickBooks, which I was very familiar with because that's what I did the dance business. And so then they wouldn't support it anymore. We got rid of the desktop computer and went to a laptop. We had to do the QuickBooks online. And Erica said she was familiar with it. And just with my schedule, because we was doing a little bit more traveling, so I want to take over. So she took it over. But I would be willing to, that's why I was wondering how you were doing it, because that's what Stephen would do, you know. And basically write a category.
let me fix it.
It
No,
was,
I'll send you the copy. 'Cause that's what Steven sent me a couple years ago.
these are very short though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
are.
What
These
is it?
bylaws can be amended at any regular meeting by a majority vote of the trustees, provided the amendment has been submitted in writing and approved by the majority at a previous meeting, and notice of the proposed amendment is contained in the notice of the meeting. So if we want to change something, we can submit it in writing and vote on it
At the
at
next
this
meeting.
meeting, and then they can be amended at the following meeting. So it's like a two-step process.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
email them
email
around.
this to everybody,
Yeah.
and then
We have to
any
do that.
positions you want.
Yeah, you have to.
It's got 2 meetings to take to do it.
Right, so we do the in writing request now. And we all vote on it, and then next time we can.
Read it, you might have to read it again, because we might have to notice it before
Yeah,
so
we can
that
vote
makes
on
sense. I
it.
think
So
we do.
Has to be in
we can
the-
like
Right.
notice it for the
agenda.
next meeting and vote, and then formally
Oh,
amend
okay.
it.
So it's three. then.
Yeah.
Three's
on there. I think that was how I understood it. and scanning it. In working on all like questions about what's wrong with the write-up of the budget aside, last year, the budget that got approved, I never really understood this like $13,500 deficit, and I never really got clear answer about like, was there something, I don't know, I never really got clear communication about like how that was supposed to be made up or if it was supposed to be made up. So to my knowledge, that's kind of still an existing deficit, like in what, you know, we had in the beginning of 2025. So obviously, making the new budget, we want to like try to break as close to even. We have that $10,000 sustaining donation that brings us much closer to even. Still a little shy, but like, you know, a more reasonable amount to make up. Kelly and Sarah's salaries are going up slightly, right? A negligible amount. And
And
then
decided that.
I sent it around an email. It's about 100 and some change difference because it's more hours.
We can't do that on emails unless you have a discussion. That's
But
what
we
it,
had kind of discussed it last meeting.
well, I don't call that.
I didn't have it in the notes. I know we,
It's not their like hourly wage is going up. The number of hours they're working to run this camp is a few more hours than it was
because you're going
before.
from 9 to 3. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you said 8:30, but that's okay.
it's 8:30 to 2:30, so same hours.
And that was discussed in a few.
I think I
Yeah.
responded to that.
You
Yeah,
responded.
But
and
she's saying
you
it can't be an
responded.
email, but we did talk about changing it in person in a meeting.
Yeah,
We
had
did talk
agreed on
about
those
changing.
hours.
We
Yeah.
talked about changing it from a 1 week, I mean, from a 2 week to a 1 week.
Full time.
We did do that,
Mhm.
and then somebody contacted the state person, which I think that was you. But, and they said, nope, they found nothing wrong with that. But we never voted on giving, not in a meeting.
In the last meeting, we approved.
It should have been
times
in the
dates.
minutes, and it's not. If you vote on something, it's in the minutes.
I-
I thought it was pretty
Because
thorough
we
and
didn't do it.
So can we just do it now?
Well, we have the video recording if we want to go back and watch, like, I can.
But I mean,
print
if
out
you
the
want to have
transcript
an
of that.
official
Sure.
vote, can we just have an official
Yeah.
vote now to
Well, I
approve
think
it?
the
Because
fact,
it's-
Judy, that it went from 2 weeks to 1 week, so
I'm
it's
fine with that.
almost, right, it's almost the exact same number of hours, but it's just off.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
then
kind of
pull
like
up
we
what I
can't
said.
extend the hours and not have the break go. I mean,
Okay, here's
down here, but
here's
right,
the
like it's just
details
kind of.
of-
Yeah.
I read it, but I really don't think we should be conducting business over emails. I really don't. You just said you didn't get the agenda.
Right.
You didn't get the agenda. And we're conducting business over email? And you don't get discussion, which you're supposed to have. And you don't get public.
I'm
that they
pretty
want.
sure I remember that discussion too, an earlier meeting. 'cause
We did discuss that. I don't deny that we discussed it. I remember it also. And I remember somebody saying, and I think it was Jenna, but I'm not sure, that it was, because I as one that asked, is it okay, legally or whatever, to do it a full day? Because that was the big question. And she said, we asked the woman that was here from the state, and she didn't think there'd be any problem, or whatever. That was the answer we got. I do remember that. I don't remember saying what the hours were. I don't remember, but I do remember that, yes.
And I think we should just discuss it now and vote on it.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter what happened in the past.
Yeah.
Talk about it now and vote on it.
So what's been advertised is 8:30 to 2:30 for the week, July 13th to 17th. I'm trying to pull up the exact hours Kelly said it would be. So it's, that's 6 hours a day for 5 days with kids, plus an hour on each end. I think 1 hour total, half an hour on each end for setup and breakdown, and the same amount of prep hours that they've had in the past, which I think is 8 hours of prep. And I had written up, the total of that. The thing I had asked for us to talk about at the meeting, Kelly had asked if we would consider increasing their pay this year. They're getting paid $11.50 an hour for the time without kids, which is significantly below the minimum wage, which is like $15 an hour so right now, and I think $16.50 an hour with kids. And so I had also written up, like, if we just paid them the $16.50 for their full hours versus dropping the distance. As something that I said I would bring up with the board to talk about, but I had been my understanding that we had agreed on that full day, 1 week camp.
I agree with that.
So we just need to determine what we're gonna pay them right now.
Yeah, and regardless of what we pay them, if we were to increase their pay, keeping them at their current pay with the 1 week was like a total of $100 extra
Yeah.
in just the amount of hours
Right.
they're here, right? That was like what I thought we had. Those hours had been agreed on. It's hard to talk and look it up at the same time, but I can like tell you exactly how many hours it will be, and then we can decide if we, at whatever point. Kelly's and Sarah are committed to doing the camp with and without a pay increase. It just was a
But
They should at least be
we have to
minimum
pay
wage.
them. We have to.
I haven't been doing it for a while, so
So we need
It's
to
not a good
now.
idea.
Now that we're aware, we have to. So
as I make up the budget, even if it means I have to kind of shop around other expenses, I think it would be a good faith gesture to pay them their $16.50 an hour for all the hours that they are here. But, like, we're paying them for their time and their skill, not just like to babysit. So if that's their rate, that should be their rate. That's
So
my
what's,
personal
where
opinion.
the 1650 come from? Is that minimum wage? I don't know.
That's what we have been paying them for the hours that they've run the camp in the past.
I think minimum wage is
15.
15.
Just went up.
Yeah.
Oh, did it just go up?
It's
That's
around
January.
15.
it's on a
It
schedule
was
to
last
take that.
summer, it was 15.
So now it's probably 15 for
Okay, let me pull up. this
Sure.
now.
I'm good. As of January 1st, 2026, Vermont minimum wage is $14.42 per hour.
I thought it was 15.
No, it's New York, so it's 15.
Yeah. Yes, it is $14.42.
More than that, but
And we're paying them
wow, that's
16 something.
1650 when there was kids.
Because
So,
when
in the-
whoever started this, they said, generally when you do stuff like that, you pay more when you're with kids and less when you're not with
I
kids.
think that was 20 years ago. I mean, it's like saying you would get paid less for your in-service days than you get paid for your days. Like, that's not been in practice for a long time.
I don't know. It wasn't 20 years ago.
No, but I think they may have continued on beyond that, but that was standard in childcare a long time ago, but I
It's a lot of work to prep for these
Yeah.
things. That's kind of ridiculous to say that, oh, it's worth less. I'm sorry, but I think it is.
so in the past,
so that's 6 hours a day. That's 12 hours. 4 days or 5 days?
this 5 days for 1 week.
Five.
Okay.
Okay, so 6.
So in the past, they had 24 hours running the camp at $16.50 each. And then they had 17 hours prepping or breaking down at $11 an hour. And
Just below minimum wage.
so that was 41 hours total each. And we can move on and then I'll tell you as soon as I find the thing that Kelly sent me for how many. If she needed 8 hours of prep and then 6 times 5 is 30 with running the camp. And then I don't remember if she said an hour on each side or half an hour. I think half an hour, right? So 5 more hours of prep. So it was 38, 40. So 2 more total hours to do the full day versus the 2 half. And then if we chose to do pay increase, so then
Special money that was for the that is no longer available.
Their summer reading grant, that's 650.
600.
650. It's, at least it was that we got this year. Are we not getting that next year? Is that what you're
no,
asking?
no, I was
less
talking
than-
about
Figure
But that grant is from the state.
Oh,
So,
that one?
Don't we get money from the state?
We get that $350 from the state. That's what we get every year as kind of like a guaranteed grant if you apply for it. And then the money that was like had been set aside as restricted, which is what I understood we were like funding it out of, but I think we're no longer getting that money. I'm also not really clear on how that worked before. It wasn't ever really explained, but it maybe doesn't matter because I think we don't get that money. Like it was maybe the I think lost in touch with the dean. These little kids came to the
Yeah, God's
yeah.
Now or something like that.
what was it the God's money? I thought it was the family with the two little kids.
That's
Doggets.
God, that's it.
Yeah. And so we didn't receive a donation from them last year. And their kids didn't attend the family that they did full day. Kelly had reached out to them to kind of say. So then I don't have any restricted funds besides that 350. And that's down here for some reason. Again, on this report, the town gave us the $300. They just increased it to $350 last year, but the town had given us the $300 for 2024, like in March. So it ended up in this report, but it really should have been back credited to the previous year. So it's only okay, sorry. I lost that. So at our previous two separate rates, we were paying to both of them combined $11.66, and to increase them to $16.50 for their full time would be a total for both of them together of $14.19. So it's like $250 more to $16.50 for all of their hours.
The 1419 is the total for hours.
The total for both of them for all of their time, so half each.
How about supplies? Do they?
So supplies, we reimbursed Kelly, but we made a budget together, and that really came out of that $350. And she.
it was very, I think, it was like 100.
Everything she needed. She's,
Yeah,
she's
no, it was
very,
very reasonable.
good at running the
Yeah.
camp on arts. So, I think this is a really special thing that we do that's really unique to the library, and I think it's worth, increasing it in a way that feels good to Kelly and Sarah, and moving money around from other programming places to cover the difference. I think it really is like, a different kind of programming. So,
Well, I also think that because many years ago, when Jane was treasurer, she used to solicit the Bank of Bennington, and they are very generous. So
you mentioned this at the last meeting, and someone was saying they just got sold.
no, they did not get sold.
Okay.
That happened. We talked about that at that last meeting, and
Okay.
I mentioned it to someone. They said, no, the Berkshire Bank got sold.
Okay.
So no, the Bank of Bennington is still there.
Yeah, and stewards, I think you brought up, I have a list from the last meeting of like places to reach out to see if we can get some
Dollar
sponsorship
General.
to cover.
Dollar General does some reading program grants.
Oh, do they?
What's that?
Dollar General.
But I mean, if we ask for a specific amount, they used to just fund the whole thing. I think they used to get $2,000 a year
Okay.
So if we
for the
want to
summer
do
reading program.
Dollar General, it would have to be for next year. So if we reach out to someone this year to sponsor it, I think it makes sense to do a sponsorship package for this, especially since it's an entire week. And that's before, when you only have a couple hours a day, it's really difficult to do that as parents, right? So I think it will be much more to a bank, especially, I think.
Right.
Would you like me to reach out to them?
Yes, Morgan, and I can give you whatever kind of like numbers breakdown but I think also like whatever we think the amount they'll want to give us might be, I will come up with expenses to reach that number, because we could have Vince come every summer. We can, we can really.
Yeah, we could do like a summer programming sponsorship and then come up with whatever that total cost was, because I think this is the kind of thing where it makes sense to ask for $5,000 or $10,000.
And like Vin's is like $400, right? Throw in some supplies, it's $500. There's so for $3,000-$4,000, we can do a massive amount of programming into a bank. That's a very small amount of money, right? So, and if they give us $2,000, our whole cost of the program as it stands right now.
Bins also this year?
I haven't
Is that
booked
the-
anything because,
Didn't know, right?
and I last year my hope had been that when getting the sustaining donation, we would have this surplus of money to put for programming, but actually it's not even quite covering the deficit. So until we kind of figure out how do we balance the budget, like what was it that made the budget so imbalanced in the last couple of years, and how to correct for it. And maybe it's as simple as like taking the
more
interest from
donations,
the endowment more regularly, and like, yeah, I mean, more donations is
Because that's what you were saying, there's a few donations that we used to get regularly that we're not getting anymore.
So we did not get the Gosnell donation at any point this year. I checked in last year, it had come in October in 2024, but I received it.
So Gosnell was,
I don't know. I mean, I was just told like, look for this check at some point in the year. I
Oh.
don't know anything about.
no, that's Phantom Labs.
Phantom Labs we got,
They-
it was like
yes.
$700, a little
Yes.
under, but Gosnell was like a $5,000 donation. It was a big. And
I mean, we used to get Egners and Hatches, two big families. Both the matriarchs at best.
So I had a development conversation with Marcia Russo, who's doing a lot of the work upstairs for them, and she was saying that she had been instrumental when we founded the library and started talking through like the struggles they had, and and getting opinions, and talking about like, okay, we're in this financial bind, and what is the best way to kind of position this narrative to look for more sources of funding. So obviously like going to a bank, that's like one thing, but within the community, right, in terms of like planning for next year for a bigger appropriations ask from the town, and also kind of looking for sustaining donors. And I thought she had a really good kind of angle on it, which is that we had in the past these reliable sustaining donors. We had these families that were like the backbone of our budget, and we are no longer receiving pretty much all, right, of these large. Yeah, and she was shocked to hear that we were no longer receiving money from the community, and having been here when the library founded, right? But that's why we named the library after them, and that was supposed to be. And I was like, yes, but kids. And she thought that if that is the narrative that we're leading with, that's something that people are more likely to kind of understand, and like, oh, it's not that we've just decided we need $15,000 or $20,000 from the town every year to run a municipal library. It's like we actually had all of this money in the past that we were using, and we no longer have, these resources have shifted. So, how are we attempting to do? So I asked if, like, her, would you like to come to board meetings and help with our, like, making connections in the community, or being in like a friend of the library position, or taking has come up at a few board meetings. But if there are people we can pull who aren't on the board, but who might be good at, relationship building and donation seeking, or specifically at running fundraisers or something. And when Chris and I were talking about it, we were also curious of like, where as a municipal library, you can only serve on the board if you're a resident of Rupert. But as a friend of the library, would you be able to be a friend of the library if you were, for instance, like a second homeowner who doesn't live here, but maybe has more resources and connection? Maybe that kind of opens up a little space for that kind of thing. She also said that in the past, the town of Rupert had an agreement with the directors, or some high up leadership of Merck, where Merck gave a yearly donation to the town, like in kind, in lieu of tax payments on the land. And that her understanding is that is no longer happening either, and that there may be therefore there's some precedent to kind of go to Merck and say, we partner with all these libraries, and we are actually your town library, and there's this historic precedent of your organization giving donations to the town and like what can that partnership look like? And I'm looking at you because you were the person with this development skill set and because Rob and Anna have kids, our kids' age, and so we can have like a more personal.
I don't know, Mark team's coming to host breakfast. They
Yeah.
canceled this weekend because of the snow, but I definitely talk to Karen about that and see about making some connections.
Yeah.
I really don't know any of them. So, but definitely dig around and see what I can.
Yeah, and Kristen and I know Anna a little bit, so we can also like go with you, like
Yeah.
connect personally, and then
We're supposed to be meeting to talk about programming for the trust. So I can ask if I can also. The board.
that feels like a lot of fruitful, kind of rooted in the what has worked in the past. Yes. Why don't they pay taxes?
Why would they? Don't they have a tax?
It's,
as a
it's,
nonprofit?
I think it was more that it's a lot of land that the town is not making any income on.
Oh,
because
gotcha. I see.
It's not paying property taxes.
Gotcha.
And so
they're
the,
doing it in I got it.
yeah, and not Merck itself, but the financial backing behind the Merck and Springs kind of the. So this is approved officially. Do we need a more official vote for the hours for Kelly and Sarah? I got sidetracked on talking about it.
I make motion.
That's
that
it.
we- That we.
Pay the teachers.
Pay the teachers, 16.50 an hour, for the hours that they are working on the program.
Any further discussion?
No.
Who was the second?
Me.
No discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
If we can get paid for it, I think Pennington, all
Yeah.
better. But I will
That
look at
sounds
some
great,
other
yeah.
local organizations too, to see if there's a specific education fund, because there may be.
Yeah.
That would make sense. M&T Bank is really good at that too, but I don't think they're local enough here. I don't think they have M&T Bank. They have regional education, they love education. But
Well,
that's close enough.
Kelly has also offered on many occasions that she would love to host an after-school program during the year on Tuesday or Thursday. We would open just 30 minutes earlier that day, or shift the hours 30 minutes in both directions. But we don't have the funds to pay for that.
And
But
the bus could come here. To
yeah,
drop
the bus
kids
can
off.
drop the kids off
Yes.
right at the door. So yeah, if there's like if you find an education fund, that would be easy.
That would be
to cover
probably
that.
good for Dollar General. I think then those grants are not difficult to do. So that, I think for programming like that, that's probably the way to go. For sponsorship for all of your summer programming, I think it's the way to go. So I'm happy to help you. Dollar General has done lots of things. Own stewards.
I scribble illegible scribble notes. And then a month later, I'm like,
Why did I write stewards?
That's cold as it was the other day when there was no heat.
What? No, because
in the director's report, and I didn't get the agenda, so I didn't know. I was like, you probably put these things down, but I'm just gonna put them in.
no. Well, I did put some reading book there, so we don't have to go back over that. We're done with that, right? No, all right, are there anything further treasury report and finance to discuss?
Does anyone have any other areas that we can cut money while thinking about the budget for next year? Or think about it?
I think we need to think about how we're doing fundraising.
Yeah.
And if we can do sponsorships and grants, which are much more, I think it would be a really good idea to put together a sponsorship package that has the sign up pages, and you can include golf tournament, you can include summer programming, whatever it is, and then you have benefits. So we have a space in the newsletter where we can put logos. We have a space on the website where we can put logos. But they get, special call outs in the newsletters. They get to present at programming, whatever it is. We can come up with what the benefits would be. And then if we have this physical booklet that all of us can have when we talk to people, then we can give them a little sign up sheet or a QR code or whatever it is that they can then go to a forum, sign up to be a sponsor. And that's a really easy way to get people to support us without having us to put in a whole lot of time other than talking to people. And that's very much less expensive. So I think doing something like a golf tournament, a lot of people have moved away from doing that just because, as you said, there's a lot of stuff related to it. But I think it's such a sort of expected thing that we really should keep doing it. I think that the mums and pies probably we should keep doing. Springs one, we just didn't make enough money to make it worth doing. So if we can replace that with leaderships, I think that would be better. Yeah.
I'll go through the budget, like I'm divided into, and like lower the programming budget and see where we can get it within $100. It's only $300 off right now, right? So, and then whatever grants we get into,
Then we
expand programming. And then once we have it balanced and we have a kind of better sense of finances, I also would really like to look at like what are the long-term costs of joining Catamount or an interlibrary loan system and kind of making shifts to be more interconnected in that way. But we have it squared away. Then when we go to the town and we're able to say like, here's what has shifted and here's what we're asking for and here are all of the things that this will allow us to do, and then we can use that to build on for next year. Doing a rural library delivery for seniors and partnering with neighbor, like a lot of things that I think we can really have be really big assets to the community that we can list out with the idea of increasing.
Especially if you do Catamount, people can get books
Books,
from all
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
I think the only problem that you might run into with that is that I think volunteers can't order books from Catamount. So we have to have paid staff that work.
But they wouldn't work like you would. Patrons can request the books from any interconnected library, and then they just get delivered here.
Right, but I think there's something about the way that it's managed.
Like volunteers can't receive the orders and sort the books or something.
Right, so you might need more time, or you might have to have so that's something we need
and
to
we
think
can
about.
item out
balancing.
all of the things or what things I do now that I can like. If we have volunteers who can cover all the books, I can unbox the
Yes.
deliveries or something. Yeah, that's I think like that's my hope is for next year to be able to ask the town for whatever we collectively a reasonable increase with all the.
I don't know what else you would cut, honestly.
Yeah.
This is pretty fair though, so.
Oh, speaking of expenses, Laura,
Are you giving your report now?
maybe will you ask if there was anything else related to the budget?
Only because it sounds like a report.
Do you want to wait to talk about it? after?
No, I don't care when you do it. I just saw, why, is this a report or where are we? Are you gonna have anything left to do in the report?
The heating. We can talk about the heating on the report. She cleaned for an hour and a half each time last month, and I just wanted to check in about, do we want to set a firm, like just stop at an hour, whatever is done is done? Do we want there to be some flexibility, like clean it to, you know, if you go to 90 minutes, it's okay, but try to dial back next time.
Yeah, how come she cleaned an hour and a half rather than just an hour?
She said
They
it
probably
needed
needed
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not been
I
attended to.
talked to her when I was over there putting flyers up, and she said that it was really dirty.
Mhm.
And it took a lot longer than she thinks it will next time.
Right.
She talked to me for a long time about it and asked me a lot of questions that I could not answer.
She thinks it's
Very
gonna take
confident.
longer?
No, she's saying she doesn't think in the future it will because it was just, there was a lot of buildup.
It
They're
hasn't
doing
been
good.
well
That is a
cleaned for a
Very
while.
fair assessment.
But I also think it's fair to say, this is our budget and this is all we can pay, so just stop at an hour if that's all you can do. I wanted, before I said anything about it to her, I just wanted to get everyone's sense of.
I mean, I think since we have some reducing to do, and it's not terrible in here, it makes sense to just say, stop at whatever our budget is. And then if there's something that she wants to talk to you about, to say, I think this needs to be done because of whatever, then we can talk about it as a board, whether we want to increase it at that time. Makes sense to me.
Especially if she did say she had to clean because it was so gross and now
Yeah.
it shouldn't be, so now just say stop at
Yeah.
an hour.
Okay.
Unless there's like a health hazard or something
Yeah.
like that, and then, she could bring it to us and. Like mold.
And how much is she?
And so she's 30 an hour.
30, okay.
And normally it would
So we
be,
did raise
1
it.
hour every other week. Yeah, we raised it from.
I think though, it almost makes sense that it would have taken her from the get-go, I
Yeah.
would have said it's gonna take more time just to start because
Pretty much. And it's gross in the winter too, with the mud and the salt. I mean, so. Okay, that's great. That was good. I just wanted clarity before I went back here.
So the consensus is stop at an hour. Unless there's.
And then come talk to us if
Okay.
that doesn't
Yes,
feel
yeah.
comfortable or reasonable.
Maybe spring windows and maybe.
Unless you really, what is an emergency? I don't know.
Somebody gets sick in the bathroom
I don't know.
or more.
I mean, kids,
Yeah. I've seen some gross stuff about them.
Are we moving on?
Sure.
So I guess it's still stop at an hour.
Mhm.
Right, you got that?
Consensus
All right,
is
are
stop
you,
at an
are
hour.
we ready to move? Or you got more?
My real director's report.
Yeah.
I do just an update on the heat. I know Tom has been really trying to figure this out, talking to Dan across the street a lot. And they've been troubleshooting. And so one of the things they did last week was they replaced the door out there on the back room and put insulation around the new door so it's tighter fitting. They think the frigid air around the boiler is making it just absolutely overrun. I've been checking the propane tank levels every time I come in at 30%. We're having the tanks put out, just kind of anticipating that it's going to burn through super fast. So that means they're getting weekly deliveries now, and the hope is we will not have another lights on all
how
day.
big or small are these?
It's a big tank. It's as tall as me. Near about. It's 5 feet tall.
Is that 500?
Oh.
I
no.
don't
That's
heat my
fine.
house with propane, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
For
that
the-
human sized.
Annex building at the school, which is 2 big classrooms, it's probably about the same size as this, and we do not burn through that in a week.
Yeah, this.
That seems crazy.
Really crazy.
What I said in one of the emails, I asked Tom, do you think maybe there's a flaw in the line or something was installed wrong? But Kyle Hunter, who's also on the board and runs hardware stores, and he said he talked to Kyle about it, and Kyle said no, everybody is just burning propane like crazy. It's just so cold, and the buildings aren't well insulated, and all the things. It's just they don't seem to think it's a problem other than insulating the boiler itself better and kind of doing some of those things. So he gave me his cell phone number. I emailed it to everyone here. He's the person to call if whatever. He'll pull for the delivery, but also kind of like just call the people. That's happened the night when I was if you were here. So, and if you call Andrea, she's also just gonna call Tom. So I think you can. Yeah. And Rich, my understanding from Tom was that Rich has fully retired. So they're working on getting the plumber and the heating person, but as of now, just call Tom.
Oh, God, I guess I gotta do the same with my house now.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting to see who the town hires so I can just get the same person. I know it's on a fast summer reading program is live. We've had 3 signups. It's gone out to all the schools. It's gone on all the socials. It'll open out for everyone outside of Rupert on Saturday. I designed a really fancy sign-up flyer. I'm really proud of myself. I used my new web design skills and put in like a conditional radio button so that if you try to sign up now but you don't live in Rupert, it like evaporates the rest of the form and it says public registration will open on Saturday, February 14th. Please check back later.
You just show Mark how to do that.
But if you're from Rupert, then you get to do the whole form. It's fine.
It's like a mad race to get the kids signed up.
Yeah, I feel like I should email my professor from last semester and be like, look, I did a real world thing. So I expect more signups, once it's fully open, I'll repost everything next week for that. And so that's going well. And then going forward, bake sale. I just wanted to check in about, we're doing the bake sale. I advertised it in the newsletter, but like, do we have times or more plans so that I can kind of make more promotional posts and stuff and
So
make sure
because
people
that
come
is
with cash so they
before-
can buy our stuff at the
When is that?
on town meeting day. We're gonna do a
Which
fundraising
is-
bake sale
oh, right,
Tuesday the
right.
3rd.
Tuesday the 3rd, yeah.
Are we doing the same thing? We kind of just had it be a donation instead of pricing.
Right.
Like, that seems
Did
to
we
work
get it
out
okay
out
from
the best.
Andrea?
Yeah.
People
I
leaving
haven't gotten
Because
it.
when I read that, I went, oh, we're doing that. I remember we did talk about it.
But if it doesn't go out in the newsletter, then nobody knows it's happening. We don't bring cash to buy the baked goods. So but yeah, anything. Whenever we have
Do you
the
want me to call Andrea?
call it right now. No.
Do we have the, I know we have PayPal. Do we have the
We were using like my Venmo in the past. We don't have the library Venmo set up. We do have the PayPal activated finally. So those we can make printouts for both of those.
We can be like, you can Venmo us too.
Yeah, you can Venmo, you can PayPal. You can get, if we just, I mean, I guess will we be there all day or what times is the only thing I really need to do. In terms of like,
I think voting is what, 10 to 7?
Yeah.
If we do it in shifts, I could do it in
Yes.
the evening, because I have to work off. Actually, it's just there, so I'll do.
Was it Tuesday?
I think so, yeah. Tuesday, it's our Tuesday.
By the way, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I go back.
I know, you and I are gonna be there.
Tomorrow.
What kind of?
So-
No, I'm talking about March.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, skiing, yes.
Yeah.
I can be there
Anyway.
with Griffin for part of the day, a couple hours or like 3 hour shifts for a couple hours.
For a couple hours, I can make nothing. So,
I can do the evening shift too, but yeah, I'm at work, like I wouldn't be able to get there before 4.
Well, what? Depends on school.
No, he's bipolar, not school. And so now he can work all day, so he can run the big sale, and it's math and all kinds of good skills.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he'll have so much fun, and we did a trip to Dorset Bakery today, into the kitchens and behind the scenes, and so we're like, he's all ready to talk his own bakeries, but we can't be there for like 6 hours either.
No,
So like be there for 2 hours and go home and come back.
Well, because I'm available, I mean, you guys are at night, I can do it during the day. Do you want to do it that?
What time is it?
It's 10 to
Okay, so I'll go from 10 to
2
11, and if it's going well, we'll stay longer.
So up to 11.
Wait a minute, how many baked goods are we gonna have?
Well,
For
that's
all
it.
day.
No, but we all have to call people and, get people to they
I put in the newsletter that would like donations of time or baked goods, and no one has reached out to me yet, so. We're up to hand solicit some. I'll call Sarah Sorka, she'll make it for us.
So, like the knitting group, you ask them to all,
They were here today, but I can talk to them next week.
and the cards group. Which I think they overlap quite a bit. And Kate's yoga overlaps with that also.
That's right after break.
Break is in public.
Yeah, so last week it moved
We're gonna
later.
be in Florida, so I'll be back for this, but,
No, I can make something.
you know what, I'll make muffins at freezing.
Oh, there you go.
And then I can take them out when you come, I'll do it this week.
And I'll bake with Griffin, and I'll make like Rice Krispie treats and other things that are easy we can do
Yeah,
with big
I think
batches.
Cookies, muffins, like small things that people can pick up.
I'll be something.
Grab and go.
Yeah.
The homemaker.
Hmm?
I said, I'm missing the homemaker here. I can mix. That I can.
Always bake a pie.
I
together.
always bake.
Okay.
I do, but I'm not Susie Homemaker by any means. Though I cheated at the cookie.
Lynn and Wendy, our newest entering board members, are both
It's so
excellent makers and like
Yeah.
to bake, so it'll be their
Yeah.
inauguration.
Mrs. Fields or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Their rush
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
I'll ask a couple other people I know that are not you guys.
Yeah.
I'll ask my school friends.
It's my mom and maybe Sarah and Karen and people on my street that
Mhm.
would be. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, going down my street.
See if Jed wants to break out his baking skills and like make some
Ooh.
savory bread items.
All right.
Yeah, but that's a big thing is to get
Yeah, lots of
baked
stuff,
goods
yeah.
to last.
Yeah, because last
that
time I
much
was
time.
supposed to take over and there was nothing left.
And especially
was
like
really
the
good.
after, like when you're coming in, people come home from work.
Yeah, that's when you're
That's
gonna
when
want,
you're
yeah.
gonna wanna.
Afternoon people that'll be like, oh, I need a snack now.
I can probably commit to being there at 5:30.
I could do like 4 to 5.
I was gonna say, I can't do before 4, because I work till 3:30 in Manchester. I can do
I
4
can't
to,
do before. I can't before get back from the mountains.
All right, 4 to 5, Sarah.
and I can overlap there, some like 4:30 to 5:30, or and like when we're in,
It closes at 7, you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So-
does close
So I
at
could do
7.
5:30 to 7.
And yeah, Kristen, if you can get there.
yeah, like 4:30 in there and like
Still
overlap,
Sarah.
and, yeah.
So Jenna, you're 10 to 11. If I go to 1, I'm 11 to
I think I'm back
I
for
could go
another
1
shift.
2. I mean 11.
Let's see, I'm gonna have to get Mark. I'm gonna have to leave from. I can come back from like 1 to 2 or 2:30, Jean, and then I can leave from there to go and do pickup.
Is it a farm day? Or?
It's a fine day, but I mean, also I can phone Mark later, but regardless, like I would only be getting back surely before Saturday.
Yeah.
Just from pickup.
Are you in town, Anakin?
All right.
Hmm?
I can keep breaking that day. Can you send Albert? Can you send
She's gonna
Albert
be here
this
at 4.
Saturday? Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair. He's gonna direct people in town to vote from.
Yeah.
Um. So we really just then need like.
I could
Like
pick up-
2:30
I
to
could
4.
pick up your daughter,
Oh, you could do that.
'cause I'll be picking up her,
Um,
if that helps.
And then drive them to Wells.
They would just have to go a little.
later.
Well, for
They
That was
ride,
horse
yeah,
barn.
after school that day. Well, so that's like 3 to 4 is the hardest hour in there.
Yeah.
And what's worst case scenario? We just leave the baked goods
Yeah.
unsupervised
Yeah.
with a donation jar and the
and the
Venmo
QR code.
signs.
Yeah.
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 For an
That's fine,
hour,
yeah.
and we take whatever cash we've had up to that point, and
If I can get there before 4, I
Yeah.
will. I just can't always guarantee that.
I could come right to
Not that
school, but
time,
it
but-
would be. It would
Not
be
if you have
there.
gist, right?
I get back at school
Oh, okay.
around 3-ish,
Okay.
a little bit, it depends on the day.
Yeah.
depends
The
on how
buses
fast
are-
you get them
If
out.
the buses
Yeah.
are, yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're
There's
off
lots
the
of
mountain. But I could at least be there by 3:30.
right. Well, and you know what?
Me.
I could stay. I could probably even stay till 3 and then pick Lark up at like 3:15. I mean, that could be
Yeah.
He picked up exactly on time.
They won't like it. When
But they have
Lark
to go to
doesn't
Wells
mind,
though.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem. So even if we got them taking the Wells. But so Jean, if you could do like 11 to 2, if that's not too long, and then I can come back from 2 to 3, and that way Griffin will like have this down and make it through for that hour. And then we'll just fudge that 3 to 4 o'clock
Yeah,
hour.
and if
We can
you-
stay a little
yeah.
later if he's doing well, and whoever gets there at 3:30 gets there. And also I can ask Lynn, maybe she'd come for an hour or 2 in the middle of the
Mhm.
day and either with Eugene or give you a break or something. And I'll go with Griffin at like 9:30 to set up for 9:45. And do we want to drop things off like in waves? What do we want to do?
I think we could try to have, know that a certain is gonna happen in the morning, it sounds like in the afternoon. Yours.
Yeah, I could just bring mine when I come in the afternoon.
Yeah,
And then I can start sleeping in the morning and then maybe like stuff enough stuff for morning and then put something else up in the afternoon.
So
I'm trying to
I
get my code. to do it in the morning.
Jean, Sarah's got something up in. And then
Drop off when I go to bed.
All right, you good on that?
Excellent. Do we, maybe ask Andrea when you call her, but should we bring a folding table? Should we should we use the full space?
Actually, that's what people there. Yeah.
I do
Yeah, I
remember
don't
us
know.
having to bring one before.
No.
But just double checking is probably a good
Computer is there now.
Yeah.
Like, that's really
They
easy to
have a
set
phone,
up.
yeah.
So she sits and works in there, as opposed to sitting by the door.
Okay.
and she's over there. So I don't know, maybe we can set up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
I'll-
and we
I'll
have
get on
these
the
square
sidewalk.
card tables, so if she wants us to bring something goes fit in my car, we can bring
Mhm.
2 or 3 of those. Yeah, I guess just let me know it. And normally you do it in the front room, like where her main office is,
first
and then the
row,
voting's in the
yes.
back room, right? Perfect. Is there cell phone service or what?
There's now,
Well, it's
there
okay
is.
by then,
Yeah.
okay.
It works pretty well. so.
You good to go?
End of my short report, but lots of conversation.
I only had petitions on here to say that I talked to Andrea last week. I paid my taxes. And she had told me that there were 2 petitions. And cause I said, are they running for the same? And she said, no,
There's 2 seats. Yeah.
there's 2 seats, and that's what she told me. we were running.
Yeah.
So when you talk to Wendy?
You talked to Wendy.
I talked.
Oh, you
to
talked to
Wendy.
Wendy.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I just
Who
talked to
is
Lynn.
Wendy?
She drives the bus.
And
Oh,
she
okay,
does.
okay,
She all the
okay,
time.
okay,
She makes
all right,
eggs.
all right.
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
delicious
she
eggs.
drives the bus.
She drives the
Yes.
bus, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, her husband's the one that clears the sidewalks. Okay, all right. very nice.
she's
She drives
lovely,
our
yeah.
driveway all the time. I
And
can't.
I just said, we were talking and,
Oh, really?
and I didn't know somebody that done it. What's her name?
Lynn.
So she said, and I go, well, think about it. And so she did. And then she said, I was gonna go down and get it. And then she wasn't open. I said, no, she's open all long day on Mondays. Then I didn't know if she got a petition. And so that's why I was asking that. And did they get their petitions in? Okay, so anyway. Bingo is a goal. We have a date. Bingo. I do. March 19th and 22nd, it's 2 days. One's a Thursday and the other's a Sunday. Sundays in the morning. So this is what it says. It's been approved in your schedule for those days. 2 people are required for both of these days. Workers are required to be here by 5:30 on Thursday and 10 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Workers must be able to make change with money, as well as go up and down stairs to sell their sheets during intermission and call back during bingo. And I asked Karen, I said, what does mean go up and down stairs? Because I can't go up and down stairs a million times. Can't do it. And she says, well, it's only if you're down to sell tickets. And I said, okay. When advertising your bingo, if you choose to, bingo starts at 7 on Thursday and 12 at Sunday.
But you have to be there at 10?
Yeah, it's a light years.
Yeah.
What time does
Workers,
it start on Sunday?
Yeah.
workers are entitled to a free hot dog, hamburger, or sandwich, chips and soda for work. Bingo workers are required to stay after and help clean off tables, take garbage out, and put new bags in garbage cans. There's a lot of people that
You say it starts at 7 on the 19th?
It usually is over by 10:15.
Where is this?
It's at the Modern Woodman, which is by the Wells School. Where the, you know, where the carnival is? Where you do,
You know, when you
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
Hadley's
Yeah.
house, and
Yeah.
there's the big school on the left.
Yeah.
if you go to Wells, you can't really miss. it.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Anyway, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact me or Dan, I guess. Number. And so that's what it is.
So Sunday is 12, what? They have to be there at 10.
Yeah, and
Probably
I,
12 to 3. It sounded like it's like 3 hours. Plus cleanup time. Yeah.
yeah, they have
So
an
till
admission.
11
They have an admission.
with one hot.
No, wait, what, 11?
On
What?
Thursday. Yeah.
5:30
Oh, Thursday,
p.m.
okay.
It starts at 7, goes to 10:15, and then you have to stay to clean up, so you're probably there till 11. On one hot dog and one soda.
And chips. Over in
I can't wait. I'm not doing Sunday. Can't do Sunday.
And we need. I will. do- I will definitely do one.
I can do Thursday, probably. Is there anything? I don't have my phone. Is there anything?
No, except Albert volunteering here.
School night.
I also.
Yeah.
Sunday.
I'll do Sunday.
How many people, so you need 2?
I need 2 for each.
Maybe I'm volunteer over.
No, he's here at the record.
No, not on Sunday.
Oh, on Sunday. Does it have to be a board member
No,
or can it be
no.
anybody?
No, it just has to be. I did it one time when I wasn't on the board for the library, because they couldn't get their 4 people, and they go, will you go? And I go, I don't know what I'm doing. They go, oh, just go in there and they'll tell you. And I did, and that was years ago. And I
Ryan
stood
would
in the
like to do
place.
Why didn't Ryan and Albert do it?
it's.
They're broad.
fun to watch.
With their
Yeah.
parents, though, like, if it's a
Yeah.
half day, that's a lot.
That's true. You're right.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
a good point.
Like,
It's not hard.
I mean,
It's
I
not,
think
it's
they
a-
would
it's a
love it, but
very
that's a lot.
easy thing to do. Very.
And I'll put Albert on that.
Unless you can't speak.
I would happily do it, but that is 7 hours of asking someone to watch Griffin, and that's a lot of hours of Griffin, so, I
So
would-
Can we split the shift?
Yeah,
Okay, so we don't have to do it for the whole time.
no,
Okay.
But then you have to split a hot dog.
Have a chip
You
shit.
can have a hot
Half a bag of chips.
Um,
There's so many in there.
I never got a free hot dog, so this is something new.
So I
So
can tell them you're entitled to it.
if somebody was willing to split a shift with me on the 19th, I don't mind being up late. But,
Albert's booked Sunday.
So,
All right, so Sunday's covered. Albert and I are doing Sunday.
and I'll do Thursday, I guess.
It won't be snowing.
March, March 19th, right?
no, we gotta be positive.
Yeah.
Let's really
Kristen,
hope
do
we're
you
getting
wanna
it.
split a shift with me on Thursday? And you do the early part and I do the late part?
I could do that.
You sure?
So 5 to
5:30, don't go near your earlier than
Okay.
that.
5:30 to,
And
yeah,
I do 8 to
8 to
11.
11, or 8 to 10:30. hopefully. Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It goes pretty quickly. You know, you can kind of be-
I think I
What's
could
the
do that.
kind of normal amount that one makes from this? I just don't remember. what-
It depends on the night and the crowds, so you
portion of
never
the-
know what it's going to be.
I think we getting like 300, 500.
Each individual night, so like
Yeah.
600 to 1,000
No,
combined.
combined, the two
Maybe.
nights combined. 2 day night combined.
Let's hope March people are really cabin fever and really play bingo.
There you go.
And you have to be 18 at a minimum to do it. We can't volunteer our teenage
Yeah.
chatty children to sell tickets.
Oh my gosh, they would love
They'd be
that.
so, like, Newark would be so
Yeah.
good at
So
it.
tickets go up.
Like, to
Bingo.
do this, like, it has to be adults.
I
Probably.
believe so.
Probably because it's
Probably.
gambling.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
gambling. Okay.
I
It's not the
think-
game, it's
They call it
I was gonna
gambling.
say.
Like,
I think there was
Una
an
and
issue
Emily and-
discussion years ago with Girls on the Run in doing it, and it was like, no, it had to be.
Hey, let's find out about that because we have a 17 probably.
I was gonna say, Una's 16 and looks like she can look like she's 18.
I don't think we should put each other in support. I don't think that is enough.
You don't really have to,
You just have to gather money
It's
and
not-
account change.
yeah, they pretty much,
Yeah, they call you over.
or at least
Yeah.
when I was there, well,
Yeah.
I was like, gotta get busy.
Mhm.
If only we could sell alcohol at this, man. Really.
All right,
Won't say I can't have that.
all right, so that's our bingo, we got our people. Remember that bylaw?
Yes, I
amendment?
do, and now that we have started talking about bylaws again. I have to remember what the topic was.
I was gonna ask you, that's why, you notice I don't write anything, because I go, it's been so long, I can't remember what.
I
it was.
think it might have been voting by.
Email, it was, and now it
Mm.
sounds like we don't want to do that, so.
I don't know what it was.
I think voting by email. I mean, are you sure you don't want to? I mean, I know Judy doesn't want to vote by
Yeah.
email. But
I want to,
I mean, I think sometimes it can be really important to vote by email, like what if there's some sort of I don't know, something that happens while people are away and you need to make a decision about something, you need to be able to do that.
And if it's something that's been discussed at a meeting before, where we have had a discussion, and it's more like we're kind of finalizing it, then
I think maybe what we need to do is have a process for if we decide that we need to make a vote by email, that we have a follow-up by text message or something like that. So
To
if
confirm that
somebody,
everybody got it.
exactly, so something, we have everybody's
so it's
you know,
not
cell
in
phone
junk email or
numbers,
whatever.
right? And then you can say, and I think it's good for things like what happened with the numbers, that if you say, okay, I sent you the email you requested, and it's in your email box, then there's no confusion about that, right? Not that, you know, we shouldn't have to do that, but if it's going to people's junk mail, I guess we have to come up with some sort of a way to do it at the same time. You know, I emailed this, check it out.
And still, you know, voting in person is the preference, but
Right.
when things can't happen,
I do think for like an official vote too, it's, everybody should have to respond when they're, like with the email about like, am I good to post the summer reading stuff? I got 2 yeses
Yeah.
and then no more
Some of us
responses.
didn't respond.
I did get some verbal responses from other people, but like, it is better to have where everyone has to say yes, no, or
abstain.
I abstain.
You want me
because-
to draft something up and then I'll do the VP at the same time? Yeah. Since we were discussing the vice presidency, vice chair.
Vice
Yeah.
treasurer.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ability to
Whatever.
add.
The bylaws.
Well, it's just the
Yeah, bylaws,
ability,
yeah.
the ability to add, the ability to change.
Add additional
Positions,
positions
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, and then there
It's
was,
warmer than my downstairs.
so that's to be discussed again.
So you're gonna do the bylaws and
Gonna draft that.
send it to us?
Yes, and then send everybody a text to let us know that you sent it by email.
And so then it will be able to be announced before the next meeting, is that? Yeah. Are we gonna vote on it the next meeting?
No, you have to warn it.
Announce it.
And does that just mean it's in the agenda? And then the agenda is posted online?
Mhm.
Yeah, so if you, Annika sends it to us and Judy includes it in the agenda, I post the agenda, which I didn't do this month because I didn't get the agenda, but usually it's up on the website before, like on Friday when Judy sends it. And then we can vote that.
I thought you had to do it twice. I don't know.
It did sound like you had to vote on it the next one
Vote on
after,
it,
and
and
then
then
it's
I'll-
official.
Review the
Approve it, yeah.
language.
Yeah.
And I'll send around the draft. Anybody wants to change the draft, send it back to me and then we'll do it again.
Do you have everybody's phone number so you can send a follow-up text to let people know that you sent it?
I don't think so.
Pull out your phone and
That piece of paper, I'll add them.
That way we have a cell phone.
And then am
chain,
I
too.
officially off the, is this my last meeting? If I'm not, because that's that.
So if we have a cell phone chain, then whatever happens, if there's an emergency or something, we can do that. Too.
I was away and I did not look at my email. That's why I think I got it. Which makes me really don't wanna look at it.
2,525,000.
I can get a text, but I can't ever, I have like 1 bar of service at my house. So
Put a star by your name.
Text them.
No, call me.
I can give you a landline number, which I would love to not have a landline anymore, but we still
Do
do.
you have a landline?
Yeah,
I
we
have
do.
to. I have
I
a
do.
bar of service.
so you
That-
can't
that
call
is
over
cell
Wi-Fi
phone number?
from your house?
My cell phone.
You're supposed to know.
That's what we do.
that?
We don't have any
Yeah.
phone service, but we
Hmm?
do all our calling
I
over
don't know my
Wi-Fi.
cell phone
It
number.
doesn't always work for us.
I get drop calls a lot.
Yeah.
I go to the car, I have a hotspot.
But I'm afraid that you can teach it. correct?
When I had no, when I
So
had
No,
no,
I have T-Mobile, but I'm thinking of switching.
yeah, fundraising next time.
I think it's a
We
very,
did.
the service is so bad.
Set the date for directory.
So
That's a.
So an ad second.
executive
Right,
committee.
fine. Okay. Gonna start.
So you guys keep going.
Was there anything else?
Yeah, we need
After
to
that,
send,
no, not
send-
really.
yeah, set a review date. Set a review date.
Anything, you know, gonna have to go out.
so who does that? Is that everybody or is
Executive committee.
that's what I thought, it's just executives, so. yeah, we just- well, New treasurer is not gonna be able to vote.
So it's gotta be more than just us. So
And
So we're gonna adopt the budget after town meeting and the new people, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have to get it into the, if we're gonna raise our wages, we have to get it in budget. So I guess we gotta do that like he said. So you're still on the hook.
So no, that's fine.
Okay.
So when,
Well, also Judy, because it's you and me and
Judy,
Judy.
yeah.
And
That's one of those things I always wanted.
So last time we met, had a, remember what you said there?
I don't remember what happened.
Just years
We,
ago,
we,
3 years
we
ago,
met
1 year
ahead and
ago,
then,
6
like,
years.
and then Jenna came after we talked to her.
Yeah, right. We can do that again.
Morgan's not on the committee, right?
No.
Okay. I need like one person available for Cal.
I volunteer as tribute.
What about the fourth Monday? Because Mondays are probably, so
Fourth
the
Monday.
23rd.
I'm gonna be in Florida, so I won't be able to watch it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't want that. I was just thinking because that next week was President's Week, although
No one actually has a
Has-
holiday that day.
I do. But I have to pick up my kids anyway, so it's fine. I would do something
Wait,
that
the
night.
kids have school on
They
President's
do
Day?
have school.
They
on
do.
President's Day.
That's awesome, I'm off.
I know, that's why I'm off, but my kids have school.
President's Day
Yeah.
is the 16th.
Yeah.
I know, and the
And
kids
we're-
have school that day. because
Yeah,
their
we have
breaks
a
They
next
do,
week.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Fantastic.
Friday
I'm
off.
so excited.
Wow, that's not a surprise the break is so late.
Okay, I
The
don't know why
the
it's
state
like we
wanted
all
to
are.
make everything, so the northern half of the state always have it the following week
Okay.
for all the parents who have to work, for all the tourists coming in, all the restaurants, all the ski, all the whatever.
Yeah.
They would have their break the following week, and the
That
state
makes
wanted the
sense.
entire state to have the
Makes
same break
sense.
schedule.
And now all
So-
the mountains will be empty for our
Actual
actual winter
break,
break.
which is fun,
So
yeah.
excited about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and that's why I regret having made our vacation that week, because now it was like, oh no, that's not actually President's Day. It's taking that week to do fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the 16th, I have something in the evening.
Okay,
From 6 to 7:30.
so that doesn't work. What other,
We're at the 17th. 17th, I'm missing a 2.
This week too.
Taking
That's
one
a
out.
two.
Uh, 16, I have, oh, wait, we're talking still February. Okay.
yeah, we're in February.
All right. Okay. Yes, the 17th I can do.
And I'll be here the 17th, so I can watch it.
I could do the 17th.
Judy, 17th?
I'm trying to find the 17th on here. Remember,
But
this is the
it's gonna be later.
17th, is like next week.
Well, we can send somebody else to pick them up.
I think so, yeah. Okay. that's-
So, need to discuss.
Trying to figure it out. I'm still in school, right?
Yeah, we're in school.
Need to discuss Gemma, that's what that's on my paper.
Also the lunar new year.
I
Yeah,
think I
I know.
know.
That's an auspicious day.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's just me. Good fortune. So what time's 6 o'clock here? Or 5 or what?
I can do either of those.
My problem is. No, I'm on vacation.
I'd say 6 because.
Okay.
I need to wait till Ryan's home.
Oh, true, okay.
Ryan's. They get along really well.
They do. Or
He
Monday,
likes
too,
me
well.
too, I think, but they get along very well.
So do I come at 6 o'clock or you're meeting at 6 o'clock first and then I come later?
You all want to come at 6:15? That should be plenty of time, right?
Have you ever done this before?
Or was I the last time? I don't think so, 'cause
No.
I wasn't
No,
here
you-
yet,
I
yeah.
don't know where you like
Erica
just.
Oh, yeah,
or
Erica
Erica's
just,
the
yeah.
larger.
I
I think you
have,
need a half hour.
I don't know, but
no,
no,
Why don't we just tell her, stay out there?
well, I think,
cold
I
out
think,
It's cold out there.
Yeah.
six. So we're meeting at 6.
Well, how about you meet here at 5:45, because that is
Yeah.
doable for us. And then you can do half an hour and then 6:15.
All right,
I'll drop Griffin off with Ryan at like 6, whatever,
5:45.
Yeah,
6:10.
We're not talking great distances here.
The only other thing is, if there's nothing else. Next meeting is March 16th. I don't think there's anything going on. Like holidays and stuff. And a motion to adjourn. By Sarah. A second. Meeting adjourned at 8:35.
And when you're gonna email that to you.